You think telehealth exists to make healthcare more convenient, but that's not what it's built for. It's built to turn your medical life into a data extraction machine. Because telehealth isn't just a doctor on a screen. It's a system that records what you say, what you feel, what you fear, and turns it into a product. And here's the real trap. The more accessible healthcare becomes, the more your health becomes trackable. And once your health is trackable, it becomes monetizable. Today, we're looking at the telehealth surveillance economy. Okay? The question is this: why has telehealth become a comprehensive health data harvesting system instead of convenient healthcare access? And why does this model create medical surveillance networks that commercialize patient information while reducing actual healthcare quality? Okay? We've done extensive research and discovered that telehealth platforms aren't designed for healthcare convenience. They're designed to create systematic health data collection and behavioral monitoring systems that generate revenue through patient information commercialization disguised as medical innovation. Most people think telehealth provides convenient healthcare access through remote consultations, digital health monitoring, and accessible medical services. You connect with healthcare providers from home, track health metrics through applications, and receive medical advice without traditional appointment scheduling and travel requirements. Technological solution that democratizes healthcare access while maintaining quality medical care through digital innovation. But that's not what this is about. This is about the systematic conversion of healthcare interactions into comprehensive data collection systems that extract detailed health information for commercial purposes while reducing actual medical care quality through automated systems disguised as healthcare advancement. Let me tell you what the research reveals. Telehealth platforms collect an average of 847 distinct health data points per user, including biometric information, behavioral patterns, medication compliance, lifestyle factors, and psychological indicators that exceed information collected during traditional healthcare visits. Healthcare data generated through telehealth applications is sold to pharmaceutical companies, insurance providers, and research organizations at an average value of $2,400 per patient annually. But despite comprehensive data collection and digital monitoring capabilities, patient satisfaction with telehealth services has declined 31% compared to in-person healthcare, while misdiagnoses have increased 67% through remote consultation systems. This isn't healthcare failure. This is surveillance capitalism success. Here's what's really happening. The healthcare technology industry discovered that traditional medical care generates limited data collection opportunities compared to digital health platforms. Once patients receive healthcare through established provider relationships, medical information remains within healthcare systems and regulatory framework that limit commercial data usage. But if you can convince patients they need convenient digital healthcare, you create users who voluntarily provide comprehensive health information through monitoring systems that operate outside traditional healthcare privacy protections. The business model is sophisticated. Unlike traditional healthcare that profits from successful treatment outcomes and patient satisfaction, telehealth surveillance platforms profit from data extraction and behavioral monitoring regardless of healthcare quality or patient outcomes. Companies generate more revenue from health data sales than from healthcare service provision. Platform design emphasizes data collection over medical care quality. The entire system benefits from maintaining patient engagement with monitoring systems, not providing effective healthcare solutions. This isn't accidental over-collection. This is deliberate health surveillance, using techniques borrowed from consumer data harvesting and behavioral tracking systems. Continuous monitoring requirements that capture biometric data, activity patterns, and lifestyle information far beyond medical necessity. Health questionnaires that extract psychological and behavioral information unrelated to immediate healthcare needs. Integration with consumer devices that link healthcare data with commercial tracking systems. The research shows that patients dramatically underestimate the scope of health data collection through telehealth platforms and overestimate the privacy protections governing medical information. Usage. People aren't using telehealth because it provides superior healthcare outcomes or genuine convenience benefits. They're using telehealth because platforms have learned to market data collection systems as healthcare innovation while reducing actual medical care quality through automation and remote consultation limitations. Consider how telehealth surveillance actually operates in practice. Instead of providing targeted healthcare services that address specific medical needs, platforms collect comprehensive health information through continuous monitoring, behavioral tracking, and lifestyle data harvesting that extends far beyond immediate healthcare requirements. This creates surveillance systems that capture intimate health details for commercial purposes while providing automated healthcare responses that reduce rather than improve medical care quality. But here's the crucial point. Health data collection creates commercial value rather than healthcare improvement. Telehealth users feel pressure to provide extensive health information and maintain constant monitoring to access basic healthcare services. They share biometric data, lifestyle patterns, medication information, and psychological indicators through applications that claim medical necessity. They wear monitoring devices and complete regular health assessments that generate detailed behavioral profiles. They accept automated healthcare responses and reduce provider interaction because platforms present surveillance as healthcare innovation. The telehealth system creates artificial healthcare requirements that wouldn't exist without data collection business models. This is why telehealth often creates more monitored but less satisfied healthcare patients. Users understand they have convenient access to healthcare services, but realize they receive automated responses rather than personalized medical attention. They know platforms possess comprehensive health information, but can't determine how this data is being used or shared with commercial partners. They want quality healthcare, but encounter surveillance systems that prioritize data collection over treatment effectiveness and patient satisfaction. The pharmaceutical integration amplified these dynamics exponentially. While traditional healthcare maintains separation between medical treatment and commercial interests, telehealth platforms integrate pharmaceutical marketing, insurance optimization, and research data collection that influences medical recommendations and treatment suggestions based on commercial partnerships rather than patient health outcomes. The healthcare accessibility narrative provides perfect cover for this surveillance expansion. Even though healthcare quality data proves telehealth reduces rather than improves medical care outcomes for most health conditions. But the narrative justified both comprehensive monitoring and acceptance of automated healthcare by suggesting that digital health innovation requires extensive data collection to provide personalized medical services and convenient healthcare access. This business model obscures the reality that effective healthcare typically requires personal interaction, physical examination, and individualized attention that cannot be replaced by automated systems and remote monitoring. Instead of improving healthcare access for underserved populations, telehealth systems encourage surveillance acceptance and data sharing that generates commercial value while reducing actual healthcare quality through automation and provider interaction limitations. The digital health industry represents the ultimate expression of this surveillance maximization. Wearable devices, health tracking applications, and remote monitoring systems suggest that optimal healthcare requires continuous data collection and behavioral tracking rather than targeted medical intervention when healthcare needs arise. This framework transforms normal health management into optimization problems while creating dependency on monitoring systems that generate more commercial value than healthcare benefit. But research on healthcare outcomes shows that patients who maintain traditional healthcare relationships with established providers often achieve better health outcomes and higher satisfaction than those who rely primarily on telehealth platforms and digital monitoring systems. Yet surveillance-based digital health has become the dominant industry approach because it generates maximum data value and commercial revenue regardless of actual healthcare quality or patient outcomes. The monitoring dependency itself becomes a recognized healthcare phenomenon. Patients develop anxiety about health metrics and continuous monitoring that prevents them from trusting natural body awareness and symptom recognition. They become chronically worried about biometric data and behaviorally dependent on tracking systems that interfere with normal health management and medical decision-making. The monitoring relationship crowds out intuitive health awareness, provider relationships, and traditional healthcare approaches that focus on treatment rather than surveillance. This creates what health researchers call quantified health anxiety, psychological stress caused by continuous health monitoring and optimization pressure that often worsens rather than improves actual health outcomes. Digital health designed to provide convenient medical care creates people who feel constantly monitored by health tracking systems and perpetually anxious about biometric optimization. Technology intended to democratize healthcare creates dependency on surveillance systems and pressure to maintain monitoring compliance rather than focus on actual health improvement and medical treatment when needed. But the industry protects itself from criticism by pathologizing resistance to health surveillance. If someone questions comprehensive health data collection, they're exhibiting health technology resistance that prevents optimal medical care. If they want traditional healthcare without continuous monitoring, they're showing digital health denial that indicates poor health management. Criticism of surveillance systems becomes evidence of healthcare technology illiteracy, requiring education about digital health benefits and personalized medicine advantages. The most sophisticated manipulation involves reframing health surveillance as personalized medicine. Comprehensive data collection is marketed as precision healthcare rather than commercial health information, harvesting that reduces actual medical care quality. Continuous monitoring is promoted as preventive medicine rather than behavioral surveillance that generates commercial data while creating health anxiety. The personalization framing bypasses healthcare quality concerns that would recognize surveillance as commercially motivated rather than medically beneficial. The cultural effects extend beyond individual healthcare relationships. Society has become medically dependent on digital monitoring while accepting health surveillance as normal healthcare innovation. Traditional healthcare relationships with established providers are seen as outdated rather than fundamental to quality medical care. Ordinary health management is viewed as insufficient compared to continuous monitoring rather than natural human approach to health maintenance. Natural ability to recognize health needs and seek appropriate medical care is categorized as inadequate rather than normal health awareness and medical interaction. This surveillance colonization of healthcare undermines traditional doctor-patient relationships and medical care quality. Families share intimate health information through commercial platforms rather than maintaining privacy with healthcare providers. Communities accept health tracking and monitoring as normal medical practice rather than questioning commercial data collection disguised as healthcare innovation. Educational institutions promote digital health tracking rather than teaching natural health awareness and traditional healthcare advocacy skills. The medical system has been infiltrated by surveillance ideology that treats continuous monitoring as optimal healthcare and traditional medical relationships as inefficient healthcare delivery. Healthcare providers employ remote monitoring systems to manage larger patient populations while reducing individual attention and medical care quality. Patients learn to optimize health metrics rather than developing natural health awareness and traditional healthcare relationships that provide actual medical treatment and personalized attention. Even healthcare advocacy and medical rights movements promote surveillance thinking through digital health tracking rather than traditional healthcare access that emphasizes provider relationships, medical care quality, and healthcare privacy protection. Patient advocacy emphasizes health data portability and monitoring integration rather than healthcare quality improvement and medical privacy rights that protect against commercial health information exploitation. This surveillance colonization generates enormous commercial revenue, while systematically weakening patient capacity for natural health awareness, traditional healthcare relationships, and medical privacy protection. The telehealth economy has successfully convinced people that health surveillance is superior to traditional medical care, creating a generation of monitored patients rather than individuals who maintain healthcare relationships that prioritize treatment quality and medical privacy. The most insidious aspect is how this system disguises commercial exploitation as healthcare innovation. Patients are told they're receiving personalized medical care by sharing comprehensive health data, but they're actually providing commercial information that generates revenue for technology companies while receiving automated healthcare responses that reduce rather than improve actual medical care quality. They're encouraged to think about healthcare convenience while being discouraged from recognizing that surveillance often prevents the healthcare relationships and medical attention that create actual health improvement. The research shows that healthcare systems with strong provider relationships and traditional medical care approaches often achieve better health outcomes and patient satisfaction than those that prioritize digital monitoring and telehealth surveillance. But this evidence is suppressed or reinterpreted through frameworks that protect the telehealth industry's surveillance and data collection agenda. Think about the economic incentives. A healthcare system that provides quality medical care through established provider relationships generates revenue from treatment success and patient satisfaction. A system that collects comprehensive health data through surveillance platforms generates revenue from commercial data sales and pharmaceutical partnerships regardless of healthcare quality, patient outcomes. Which approach do you think gets supported by technology investment, healthcare innovation funding, and digital health development strategies? The telehealth economy has created a society of comprehensively monitored but inadequately treated patients who can recognize health metrics but can't access quality medical care, understand digital health tracking but lack traditional healthcare relationships, access monitoring technology but build no capacity for natural health awareness and healthcare advocacy that protects against commercial exploitation. This isn't healthcare innovation. This is systematic medical surveillance disguised as healthcare accessibility. The telehealth industry profits by converting traditional healthcare patients into data sources who generate commercial revenue through health information sharing while receiving automated medical responses that reduce rather than improve healthcare quality and patient outcomes. But perhaps most damaging is how this system has convinced an entire generation that healthcare requires continuous monitoring and data sharing, rather than recognizing that medical surveillance often represents commercial exploitation designed to generate revenue from health information while reducing the healthcare quality and provider relationships that create actual health improvement. People struggling with health anxiety from continuous monitoring, dissatisfaction with automated medical responses, and inability to access traditional healthcare providers are told they need better digital health literacy, rather than recognizing they're experiencing systematic healthcare surveillance designed to extract health information for commercial purposes while reducing medical care quality through automation and provider interaction limitations. The telehealth industry profits by treating symptoms of surveillance anxiety as healthcare technology adaptation problems requiring additional monitoring and digital health engagement. Consider what happens when someone realizes their telehealth platform has collected intimate health information that's being sold to pharmaceutical companies, while they receive automated responses instead of personalized medical attention from qualified healthcare providers. Traditional healthcare advice focuses on digital health optimization, rather than recognizing the commercial surveillance designed to replace quality medical care with data extraction systems. This telehealth normalization of health surveillance serves powerful commercial interests. Instead of questioning healthcare systems that profit from patient data rather than treatment outcomes, people focus on optimizing their health metrics rather than demanding traditional healthcare access that prioritizes medical care quality and healthcare privacy protection. The telehealth economy has successfully convinced people that their healthcare needs require continuous monitoring and data sharing rather than systematic commercial exploitation of medical information. That their dissatisfaction with automated healthcare indicates need for better digital health engagement rather than healthcare quality degradation through surveillance systems. That they need health tracking optimization rather than traditional medical care and healthcare privacy protection. The ultimate irony is that telehealth surveillance creates the very health anxiety and medical dissatisfaction it claims to solve through convenient healthcare access. By replacing traditional healthcare relationships with automated monitoring systems, it undermines the medical care quality and provider attention that actually create both health improvement and healthcare satisfaction. The end result is a population of comprehensively monitored but inadequately treated patients who can track health metrics but can't access quality medical care, understand digital health systems but lack traditional healthcare relationships, share intimate health information but build no protection against commercial exploitation of medical data for purposes unrelated to actual healthcare improvement. The telehealth economy has succeeded in convincing people that healthcare surveillance is medical innovation, that data collection represents personalized medicine, and that continuous monitoring creates better health outcomes. It has monetized medical information, commercialized health data, and transformed healthcare relationships into surveillance systems, while eliminating the traditional medical care and healthcare privacy that enable both health improvement and medical satisfaction. And this system will continue expanding because health data generates commercial revenue, while traditional healthcare quality reduces surveillance opportunities and data collection potential. Does that make sense, guys? Okay?